Yo, it's Haunt. I was the first one above all Black Panther this season, and currently the only one above all Panther, sitting at rank 150. Initially, I didn't plan on making a guide, but it's been requested so much that I've decided to make one. Now, I've climbed with broken mice, I'm using a mousepad that's 7 years old right now, and I have a keyboard from 2014, and I've managed to climb to the highest rank and maintain the highest rank in Marvel Rivals. I can guarantee you all, I would not be able to do this without a stable connection and good FPS. So I'd like to introduce you all to the channel's first sponsor, ExitLag. Not only does ExitLag boost FPS, it also aims to give you the best connection possible, and it does so with their AI-powered multipath technology. When you're playing, you are sending and receiving data to the game server all the time. The route your internet is taking may not be the best, but this is where ExitLag comes in. With multipath, ExitLag sends your data through multiple routes at the same time, which means if one route is congested, your data will simply go through another but better route. With AI, ExitLag will continuously monitor all routes to give you the best and most efficient route possible, so you can stop things like this from happening. Now, all you have to do for your free trial is create an account, head over to download, hit download, install, and that's it. You can now select any game from their massive library of around 2,000 games, flip the switch, and you're ready to go. It's that simple. If you struggle with your connection at all or simply want an FPS boost, I really recommend you to head over to exitlag.com or scan this QR code to create your free account, and you can start your 3-day free trial right now. ExitLag also offers different plans where you can sign up with your friends to lower the price, and you can use code HAUNT for an even bigger discount. I want to give a huge thanks to ExitLag for being the first sponsor of this channel, and yeah, let's get right back to the guide. Welcome back. This guide is pretty much only going to cover combos and how to assassinate supports. This guide is also going to assume that you know what Panther's abilities do, so I won't be covering them in this video. I'll be showing my warm-up since it was very requested, followed by a combo guide, and then ending the video with how to deal with each individual support. Before all that though, I want to give you a couple general tips that I think are super important on Panther. The first being meleeing or primary attacking. If you watch me or Tanuki play, you'll see that we melee way more than any other Panther. You'll see later on in the guide how important melee weaving is, but I can tell you if you're not meleeing a lot when you engage, you are for sure missing out on kills. The second tip is to engage with intent. For example, a mistake I used to find myself doing when I would engage is that I would bait Loki lamps, but I would overstay and, spinning kick to mark clones and dash. All of that is completely worthless because I'm building ult charge on a very mediocre ult. As soon as my cooldowns are back, that Loki is gonna die, unless he gets a lot of peel, but even then, I'm applying a lot of pressure. Think of it like a two-turn strategy, where your first turn you're going to get cooldowns, or if the support is slacking, sometimes you just pick up a kill. But the second turn is when you're going to be looking for the kill. When you overstay and dash over and over again, that's when you start tickling. Okay, now for the warm-up. Now, what I recommend is if you're somewhat new to Panther and you're not that experienced, there is just one thing that you need to be practicing. Whether you're queuing or you just got on, it doesn't matter. The only thing you need to be practicing is the spear dash, dash combo. And obviously in full speed it looks like this. When I tell you that this is the most important combo on Panther, I genuinely mean it. You absolutely have to get comfortable with this combo. Now for the second warm-up, just copy these settings. You want to spawn the bots and you want to just dash at them. It's very simple. But you want to have a specific target in mind whenever you dash, and you want to just keep track of where everyone is and just get good at doing this. That's what I did for a while, and what I still do every now and then. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. I don't think warm-up matters too much, but it was requested, so I decided to add that in here. And now onto the combos. We're going to be starting off with 250 HP targets, and for that we have the bread and butter spear dash combo. Now, the little dash at the end is something that's just habit. I don't think it helps or makes it faster or anything. I have gotten comments about that. But yeah, this combo does exactly 250 HP. So, if the target gets even a single point of healing, you're no longer going to one-shot them with this combo. This is the reason you may struggle a little bit playing defense on payload maps as Panther. But yeah, just try get this down as fast as possible because you're going to be using this combo pretty much every time. Now next we have the spear dash combo, and in full speed it looks like this. At first, I never really used this combo, but as people got better and the bread and butter combo stopped working, I did end up picking up this combo and using it way more. This pretty much guarantees a kill with the right timing and right angle on a 250 HP target, so it is something worth practicing now in my opinion. There's not much else to say. I do like to come from height whenever using this combo. I find it makes it easier, but that could just be preference. But again, the key to this combo is positioning and your timing. Now, the last combo for 250 HP targets that I think is worth mentioning is the E mouse 1 dash dash combo. This also kills 250 as you can see. So for example, if there was two targets right beside each other and I spear dash and kill the first target, I can then E, mouse 1 dash and then dash back, and this would kill the other target.
Pick.
Again, it is pretty niche, but it is something to keep in mind because you can pick up a few kills in the right situations. Now we're going to be moving on to 275 HP targets. Again, I'm going to be starting with the most important combo, which is the spear dash dash combo. Now, I cannot stress how important this combo is. I really cannot. If this is something you don't do, please pick up this combo and start applying it as much as you can. If at any point there's a Luna on the enemy team that's out of position, for example, they will just die to this combo unless they hit a very insane freeze, right? So one more thing about this combo is that you can make it easier depending on the range where you're engaging from. So for example, if I were to spear dash this target and then spear dash this target again, when I ghost dash, I'm gonna be doing it from here, which is a lot harder, right? It's very easy to mess up. But if I start the combo from closer, like this, spear dash, this is much easier to hit, right? I can dash here and I would hit the target. So just keep that in mind whenever you're trying to pull off this combo. Now, obviously there's the spear dash kick and then dash combo. I please don't use this combo. There is a much better combo for 275 that lets you keep your dash, and that is the spear dash spear mouse 1 dash combo. And in full speed it should look like this, right? And it's very fast and you get to keep your dash afterwards. Now again, if someone is being healed, they probably won't die to this combo because it doesn't do that much damage, but it is something to keep in mind. Now for the next combo, this is something just for, I learned this combo because I upload on TikTok pretty much. It's very flashy and it's something that you can pick up if you want to show off to your friends or something. If you're not experienced on Panther and you're not comfortable with the other combos, don't even bother with this because it's something you're never gonna pull off, right? It's extremely niche and I've barely pulled it off myself in game. But essentially you're getting 3 dashes off of 1 spear, which will kill a 275 target. So it goes something like this. You spear 2 targets, you dash the first one, you dash the second one through the first target, and then you dash back. And this obviously kills a 275, and you're leaving out the second spear, which makes it the fastest way to kill a 275 target. And in full speed, it should look something like this, right? And again, this combo isn't very important. I only recommend learning it if you want to be flashy. That's the only reason. Now, onto the ultimate ability. For me, personally, I spear dash... Okay. For me, personally, I spear dash dash and then ult. I do this 90% of the time. I don't bother with anything else. I will say that if you want clips or 4Ks, 5Ks, whatever, it is better to dash normally and then ult because you're going to be doing way more damage. But you're giving the enemy team a lot more time to react to your combo and your damage. So keep that in mind. You can one-shot through Invis ult or Luna ult, for example, if you're damage boosted by Luna ult or Rocket damage boost. And shout out to Slushy for finding this out. But it's not something super important. It is something worth keeping in mind though. But now we're going to move on to the support section. We're going to be starting off with Invis Woman. Before I even say anything, I will just add that Invis is one of the hardest heroes to kill, or one of the hardest supports I mean to kill, but there are ways to play around her cooldowns. The first thing you have to know is that when Invis Woman shoots a primary attack, it's going to recall back to her, and if she jumps as the shot is recalling back to her, you'll see a little red dot. This is what's going to allow you to track her and tag her with an AoE from the spear. If you tag her and cancel her invis, she's just a free kill. Another way to cancel her invis is when you dash on her. Hold down primary attack, and sometimes when she jumps, you're just going to tag her with a primary attack. which is also going to cancel her invis. Also, in case you don't know, her shield will go on cooldown for about 6 seconds when broken, so the higher you climb, the more important it is to ask your team to break the shield for you, because if both supports are playing around her shield, you're not going to be able to kill anyone at all. And one more tip for Invis Woman. Again, this is a very niche and hard combo, but something worth practicing if you're experienced with PP. You can cancel all of Black Panther's abilities with his ult. So if you spear dash dash and cancel the second dash animation with your ult, and then dash right after your ult, you can actually kill Invis Woman as she ults. Now for Mantis. This matchup is pretty straightforward. You simply have to avoid the sleep. Any good Mantis player is going to sleep the ground, and that's going to be able to hit you as you're dashing. So whenever you're engaging a Mantis, just make sure that the end of your dash is far enough away from her that she can't splash the ground and tag you with the sleep. Now, even though Mantis is a 250 HP hero, she does have passive healing, so you're pretty much never going to kill her with the bread and butter combo. So be prepared to extend the combo if you have to.
Sleeping. I missed my fucking frame. Ah, shit. I didn't think he was gonna be that far back. Upline.
Now onto Cloak. Simply put, spear dash will kill her. If you can do this combo as fast as possible, she has no time to change form. But if you're off by even a little bit, they will have enough time to fade, which is why it's super important to get the combo down as fast as you can. The only way to survive the initial combo as Cloak is to bubble the ground, but the spear and dash combo does 330 damage. So she doesn't have enough time to heal herself if you add an extra dash at the end. Also, if you have a rocket ult or a Luna damage boost, then you can one-shot Cloak as she ults because she's just standing still most of the time. Now for Rocket. Again, this is one of the harder matchups. Just like Invis Woman, melee weaving is the key here. Rocket is always going to be healing himself as his own orbs heal him. So a spear dash is never going to, be able to kill a Rocket. Thankfully, the Season 2 nerfs he received made this matchup 10 times easier. The most important part of this matchup is landing that second spear. If you land it, you've pretty much secured the kill. Whenever you're in range of him, you just want to be meleeing, let him use his dashes. It sounds pretty simple, but if you've been struggling with Rocket and you haven't been meleeing, then that's your issue. Now for Lute and Snow, in my opinion, this is another Panther victim. If she has the Iron Fist team up, the matchup is harder, but you can still play around it. It's just another ability you have to bait out, and then the matchup is, back to normal. Now against Luna, you always want to use the spear dash combo. Also, in this current meta, you will see Luna ult versus Luna ult very often. So it's the best time to look for a damage boosted ult one shot, so just keep that in mind. And now for Jeff. If you're not aware, dashing at a Jeff as he picks up his own bubbles will cancel both your E and your dash. You have to avoid this at all costs. If you're below 100 HP as Panther, you deal 20% extra damage, which means your spear dash combo does 246 damage. This is almost enough to one-shot a Jeff outright. The game plan here is that you want to cycle between a spear dash and then a kick dash while making sure you always have a spear and a dash available. But as soon as you notice you're about to be in your passive range, you want to spear dash and that will instantly kill a Jeff. And now for Adam Warlock. There's really not much to say here. If the enemies are running res comp, it's very hard to get value on Panther. Your game plan here is going to be getting Link out and then diving. The higher you climb, the matchup becomes harder and harder. And if you're lucky enough to be playing against two supports with one of them being Adam, then you can play around your ultimate since the enemies will only have one defensive ult. Just make sure to always bait out Link before you decide to engage with your ult. Your best chance at ever killing Adam Warlock is to just be in a better position and then going for a Chasm combo and hoping you catch them off guard. Now finally is the Loki. Something that some of you may not know is that with Loki, using his right click, which is the invisible ability, he ends up healing while invisible. Now this obviously disrupts the spear dash combo. So if you find a Loki that's doing this a lot, it's worth adding the ghost dash at the end to punish this. Loki is going to be your main priority whenever you see him on the enemy team because once you bait out his lamp, he's pretty much always a free kill. And lamp is such an important CD that getting it out is already value by itself. I know we've covered all supports, but I wanted to add the thing here even though he isn't a support. I think it's a very important matchup to know how to play around. The thing simply being in the game will make your life much harder if it's a good thing, because you have to be aware of him at all times. You can spear dash into him to try bait out his shift ability if you know he's holding it for you. If you struggle against a thing, it's pretty normal since it is a counter, but it could also have to do with your timing, so don't just say, oh, he's countering me, I have to swap, or he's countering me, no wonder I'm losing. keep in mind that you can play into the thing. It's not always a must swap. But that's it for the guide. Real quick, I just want to thank you guys for the support on this channel. It's almost at 10k subs, which is insane to me, so I want to thank you all for that. I've had some friends work on a Discord, which I'll drop a link to next video, where I'm going to be offering Panther-only coaching or VOD reviews. I want to thank ExitLag again for sponsoring this video, and thank you all for watching.